Hello everyone. In the previous video, I dealt with the exact and full-fledged pattern of UPSC or Civil Services examination, in which I separately dealt with preliminary round, I separately dealt with the mains exam pattern, and then I dealt with the interview round as well. Today in this video, I'm gonna be giving you the list of all the important or advanced books which you will need while preparing for this examination. At the end of this video, I'll also give you the names of some websites or some applications or some YouTube channels which you will need while preparing for this examination and which are considered to be very beneficial by many IAS toppers. So first, I'll give you the list for preliminary stage, then I'll give you the list of books for mains round as well. So let's begin. So as we all know that under preliminary exam, we have to deal with two papers, GS paper 1 and GS paper 2, which is also called as CSAT paper, which I have already explained in my previous video. If you haven't checked, I'll attach a link, you can go and check out that video. Anyways, so for preliminary exam, you will have to face two papers, GS1 and GS2. And under GS paper 1, we have to face different subjects like history, polity, economics, environment, general science, and a lot more actually. So let us see different resources which we require for all these subjects. Let us see the history section first. So for ancient history, you can refer to R.S. Sharma. For medieval, you can go with Satish Chandra, and for modern, you actually have two options. Either you can refer to Spectrum, or you can also refer to India's Struggle for Independence by Bipin Chandra. You also can refer to the history books of Tamil Nadu board for classes 11th and 12th. They are really good. And now it's the turn for art and culture. For art and culture, you do not have to necessarily stick to multiple sources. You can just stick to Nitin Singhania, that red and yellow book. That's really good. I'm also doing Nitin Singhania for my art and culture section. One thing I would want to tell you all here, that world history doesn't come in preliminary round. You will have to study world history only for mains. So no need to cater to any source for studying world history in prelims. Now, one thing is for sure that you cannot do without reading newspapers. Newspapers are a must. At least you will have to refer to any one newspaper for all the current affairs. Now for current events of national and international importance, you have to religiously follow newspaper material. Or if you are doing any coaching, then you can follow their materials as well. But newspapers are a must. After history comes the geography section. Now, if you are really very good in geography, if you have a very solid base in geography, unlike me, then you can skip the NCERTs from classes 6 to 10th. But if you are not that well with geography just like me, then you will have to religiously study the NCERTs from classes 6 to 12th. The NCERTs for 11th and 12th are a must. Other than NCERT, the advanced study of geography will be made possible by referring to G.C. Leong's book. Rest is fine in geography, I believe, and if you want to add up more, you can definitely refer to newspapers or any magazine for that matter. For polity section, what you can do is refer to the NCERT material from classes 6 to 12th. And if you are really good at political science or you have a very good grip and command over this subject, you can leave the NCERTs from 6 to 10, only study the NCERTs of 11th and 12th. But if you are not very much capable with this subject, study NCERTs from 6 to 12th. For polity, read NCERTs from classes 6 to 12th. If you have a really good grip or command over this subject, then you can skip the NCERTs from 6 to 10th. Just read the NCERTs of 11th and 12th, otherwise read all. For advanced study of political science, you will have to religiously and thoroughly read Lakshmikant multiple times without any excuse and without fail. No Lakshmikant, I don't think you will be able to complete your polity section. Study of political science, you will have to religiously and thoroughly read Lakshmikant multiple times without any excuse and without fail. No Lakshmikant, I don't think you will be able to complete your polity section. Read newspapers without fail, and if you want to add up more to your polity preparation, then what you can do is you can refer to any good magazine, either Yojana or Pratiyogita Darpan, which is also called as PD. This magazine is available in both the languages, Hindi as well as English. So I guess that's all for polity section. For the preparation of economy section, you can read the NCERTs from classes 9 to 12. Don't skip it, read all. For advanced study, you can refer to the book by Ramesh Singh. Also make sure to read newspapers thoroughly, and also do focus on government budget and economic survey. So I think that's all for economic section as well. For the preparation of your ecology and environment section, I would recommend you to do online studies. Do not have to cater to any specific book. And even if you want to, then you can refer to Shankar Ias's green book. That is really good for environment section. For ecology section, you can study the NCERT of class 11th of biology, and that's it. You can read newspapers, you can read magazines, and these sources will suffice, I guess. For your general science preparation, you just have to simply focus on the Hindu, and more specifically its column on science. I guess it comes on Thursday. I guess you all can check it out. And you can also watch a special program called Science Monitor, which comes on Rajya Sabha TV. Other than these, I don't think you need much in this area. And if you want to add more, then instead of reading only one newspaper, you can add one more to your list. So that was all for GS paper 1 of preliminary exam. Now let us see what all we can cater in GS paper 2, or which you call as CSAT paper. So for your CSAT paper, you do not have to do much in this area, but dare not to neglect this part either, because unless you qualify this area, unless you qualify this paper, you will not be eligible to sit for your mains examination. So do focus on this paper as well. So to prepare for your CSAT paper or your GS paper 2, what you can do is you can practice more and more previous year question papers, because more or less the questions are based on the same format. So if you will solve the previous year question paper, you will get the idea of the questions, because this is a qualifying paper either way. And so yeah, you can cover this section by solving more and more previous year question papers. You can also solve any good book on quantitative aptitude and reasoning. And if you do all these three things, I think you will easily be able to get 33% marks, and thereby will be able to qualify this paper. Now let us move to the resources and books required for your mains examination. Now mains is the round which will actually determine your rank. But if you remember, in the previous video, I told you all that the first two papers, that is paper A and paper B of the mains examination, are qualifying in nature. So yeah, let us first see the resources or what you can do to qualify these two qualifying papers, that is paper A and paper B. So to qualify paper A and paper B, what you can do is you can refer to any good book first. Second, you can practice writing more and more essays. Third, you can learn some idioms, some good vocabs, some antonyms, some synonyms. And fourth, you should be able to practice more and more previous year question papers. So if you do all these things religiously and with and with hard work, you will be able to easily qualify these papers. Now let us jump to all your mains paper, which actually will decide the rank which you will get in your examination. So first in the row is your essay paper. Now for your essay paper preparation, what you can do is you can read more than one newspaper, either Times of India or the Telegraph along with the Hindu. Second, you can practice previous year question papers. Third, you can practice writing more and learning more and more phrases, proverbs, more and more idioms, good quotations by great thinkers, so that you can add them to enhance your answer, and which can fetch you more marks for sure. Next step you can do is to practice writing more and more essays by setting up the timer or the time limit. So I think these are the steps which you can follow for your essay paper preparation. After your essay paper, you have your GS paper first, which is also called as your second paper. So in GS paper first, you get questions related to history, international movement, world history, art and culture, geography, society, role of women. So let us now see which resources you all can cater to cover up this particular paper. So for history section of GS paper 1 of mains, you can refer to NCERT from classes 6 to 12th. You can also refer to the book of Tamil Nadu board for classes 11th and 12th for history. For advanced study, for ancient history more specifically, you can refer to R.S. Sharma for medieval Satish Chandra, and for modern, as I already stated earlier, it has to be either Spectrum or India's Struggle for Independence by Bipin Chandra. I would prefer Spectrum over the second option. Now, for world history, you can refer to Mastering Modern World History by Norman Louis. For art and culture, you do not have to cater to any specific source. You can just read Nitin Singhania, as I have already mentioned it in the prelim section. So I think these sources will be sufficient enough to have a good command over history section of GS paper 1 of mains. So the portion or the material for geography in mains is similar to that of prelims. The only addition here is that you will have to practice maps religiously. You will have to practice maps more and more and more, which was not there in the case of prelims. So for geography as well, you will have to practice NCERTs from 6 to 12th. You will have to study newspaper. For advanced study, you will have to study GC Leong. You will have to study maps. You can also draw diagrams wherever required. And one more thing I would like to add, you can also refer to a very good YouTube channel, which is PMFIAS. So you can also go and study and cater to your geography resources over there. So I think this is all what you can do in your geography section. For covering up the society section of GS paper 1 of mains, you will have to read NCERT of classes 11th and 12th of sociology portion. For advanced study, you can refer to a book by Ram Ahuja. That's a really good book. And if you want to add up more, you should try developing the habit of making flowcharts, diagrams, wherever required. You can read good magazines, newspapers, and you can also refer to certain websites for that matter. Now for the preparation of your GS paper 2, which is Polity and International Relations, you can refer to NCERT material from classes 6 to 12th. After NCERT, for your advanced study, you can do Lakshmikant. So if you don't do Lakshmikant, you can't do polity, as simple as it sounds. For your international relations, you can refer to Pax Indica by Shashi Tharoor. That's a really good book. You read newspapers, and for a special preparation of your polity paper, you can add one more newspaper to your list. So altogether you can read 2 newspapers for your polity section. For your GS paper third, which comprises questions on economy, infrastructure, agriculture, land reforms, security, environment and ecology, you will have to read NCERTs of classes 9, 10th, 11th and 12th. For advanced study of economics section, you can refer to Ramesh Singh's book. Read newspapers, solve previous year question papers, refer to government budget and economic survey. And for environment and ecology section, you can refer to Shankar IS's green book. That's a really good book, and your your ecology and environment section will be covered up. So I guess that's all for your GS paper third. Let us now move to our GS paper fourth. Now for your GS paper 4, which asks questions on ethics, integrity and aptitude, you can do a lot of case studies. Now case studies are considered to be the pillar when it comes to strengthening your ethics paper or your ethics portion. So you can do a lot of case studies. You can do editorials from the newspaper you are referring to. You can also learn some fine quotations by great thinkers to supplement your answer. And finally, for your advanced study, you can do lexicon, which is a really good book when it comes to preparing your GS paper 4th. Now after your GS paper 4, you will have your 2 optional papers. 2 as in 2 papers on the same optional subjects. So I won't be able to give you any static book list or any static material for your optional paper, because everybody has different optionals obviously. So when optionals are concerned, it's very difficult to come to a static portion or cater to any specific material. So everybody has different optional and everybody will have different source material as well. So I will not be giving any book list or any website for your optional preparations. As I had told in the starting of this video, that at the end of the video I'll give you the names of certain websites and YouTube channels which you can consider while preparing for these examinations, and which will prove to be very beneficial for you all. So the first in the list will be Insights on India. Now this website is considered to be very beneficial by many IAS toppers. On this website you can get daily current affairs. You can also practice writing answers and also get it reviewed. So it will help you in your overall preparation. So do check this out once. The second will be mrunal.org. Now this is also one of the best websites considered by UPSC toppers. On this you can have your overall preparation of prelims, mains and interview. The third will be Civils Daily. Now the fourth website in the list is basically meant to help you in preparing for your GS paper 2, which is prsindia.org. Now you can use this website if you want to have updates on government acts, parliament acts, monthly policies, reviews, committee reports, etc. So if you want to have a solid preparation for your GS paper 2, you can visit this site. Next, you can follow the official website of Niti Aayog to learn about new schemes of government. The next is a very good YouTube channel, which is PMF IAS. This YouTube channel will particularly help you in your geography section. Lastly, you can follow a very good application called Unacademy Learning App. Now this is considered to be one of the best applications by UPSC toppers. So guys, I think these are some sources which you can cater to while preparing for your UPSC, and if you go on searching, there are many sources actually, but merely collecting will not do, right? So it's always advisable to have limited sources but to have multiple revisions, rather than having multiple sources and having only one time revision. So that will not do. So try to have very limited source but very vast and very deep study of those limited sources. So friends, these were some of the websites and books or apps which you should check out while preparing for your civil services exam. And I would want to say one thing, that these were my personal compilations, and if you wish you can cater to any other source. So yeah, if you liked my video, please consider liking it, sharing it and subscribing it. Until then, be safe, do well, and thank you for watching.